Cosmo Logic here. Fake people. Why are people fake? Now, I don't know all the reasons why people choose to be fake or end up being fake, but in my experience, I do know some of the reasons. I think one of the main reasons some people are fake is because they don't know how to be real with themselves. They don't love themselves 100%. There's something about themselves that they dislike, that they hate, or something they done that they still dwell in regret and guilt, and it hinders them from loving and appreciating themselves 100%. And if you can't love yourself 100%, you definitely ain't gonna be capable of loving or liking someone else 100% or appreciating other people. So you're gonna be on some fake shit. With fake people, one thing about me, I do not fuck with people I don't like. If I don't like a person, I just don't fuck with them. And if I'm getting to know a person and I think they cool, but then it turns out that they're on some fake bullshit, that generates a lot of anger in me. Now, yeah, one shouldn't be clouded by anger, but it's still understandable when one gets angry over some bullshit. Some people just don't get that. You know what I'm saying? And people who don't get that, that make me think you fake. If you don't get why a person becomes angry over someone trying to trick them for their own selfish motives or someone just being consistently deceptive to them, that makes me think you're fake if you don't get that. Because life is too short to just be playing mind games, just to be lying to people about some bullshit. If you don't like people, don't fuck with them, And the reason people fuck with people they don't like is because they're trying to trick them. They're trying to manipulate them. And that angers people because it's like, no, fuck you. You're not going to insult my intelligence. You're not going to exploit me. You're not going to manipulate me. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why in my journey, I have learned, though, to really appreciate the real people in my life. They are few, but I've learned to appreciate them. But most importantly, I've learned to consistently evaluate myself and overcome my flaws and become more real. Because I think being real, no one just comes in this world and be like, I'm 100% real. Like, we all bullshit. Now, let me say this. We all been on some fake shit at some point in our lives. We all been on some hypocritical shit. The difference is some people realize their bullshit and they admit it to themselves and others, whoever they've wronged, and they overcome that. And thus they grow into real. Some people never see their bullshit, or they see it, or they never acknowledge it, and they never try to overcome it, and thus they are in a state of perpetual fakeness, a state of perpetual bullshit. So while I appreciate all the real people in my life, even though they're the few, I make sure I always evaluate myself and see the bullshit in myself. And one thing you can do, you got to be open, you got to be strong enough to accept constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, years ago, an older coworker I had at my job, one of my jobs, and I was on some bullshit about something, and he called me out on it. He was giving me constructive criticism, big ass dude, like my size, but like 15 years older than me. Man, I don't know what the fuck I was on, but I knew it was on some bullshit. He was like, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I kind of got mad, but at the same time, I knew him well enough to know that he wasn't coming from a place of hate. He wasn't coming from a place of dislike. He was coming from a place of, you my friend, I want to correct you because you want some bullshit. And I calmed down, even though I was swelling up with anger. I didn't lash out at him. I walked away, then I calmed down, and I gave him his props. I was like, yeah, man, you're right about that, because we all flawed. And I've called him on his shit too. You know what I'm saying? That's real people. Real people realize they're flawed, and they can accept constructive criticism from people they trust, and they can correct themselves, in your solitude. You can see like, damn, I was on some bullshit with that. But see, fake people ain't about that. Fake people don't like constructive criticism. Fake people ain't trying to change, ain't trying to grow. All fake people do is try to deceive you for the sake of deception because they get a high off of lying and manipulating, or they're trying to deceive you because they're trying to get something from you. Don't nobody got time for fake motherfuckers. This is just my little rant about fake people, real people. Just evaluate yourself because you're not 100%, real. It's a lifelong process, just constantly growing in realness. But as long as you are determined to be real and stay in the real, you're real. You know what I'm saying? You just keep it real with yourself and keep it real with others and admit your flaws and take constructive criticism from positive, like-minded people you trust. You good. For all you fake motherfuckers out there, leave me alone. I leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I will be on some anger shit. I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck because you shouldn't let anger cloud your judgment, but it ain't about that bullshit either. Don't let the fact that I wear glasses fool you, even though I wear them on my videos. Cosmo Logic out. Peace, prosperity.